All right. So, on this episode of the Hoops Prospects interview series, Rich Harris and I, Clayton Conover, are graciously joined by a three-star recruit turned Pac-12 All-Freshman Team, Jabari Walker. Last season, Jabari solidified himself as a high-energy forward, plays bigger than his measurements would imply, at 6'8.5". And in his first season with the Colorado Buffaloes, he led the team in a number of categories, including effective field goal percentage, rebounding percentage, and defensive rating. So, for starters, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today, Jabari. And how's it going?
Everything's going well. Just in the gym and hanging with my teammates.
Awesome. Yeah. So, first question we had, a couple weeks ago, you were blowing up on the internet after your dunk attempt in Puerto Rico with backboard, got wrecked. So, I'd like to ask, what was that experience like? Just with take us from the start to finish, really.
Yeah. So like I wasn't having the greatest game that time, so I was a little frustrated with that. And when I missed it, like my first reaction was just like, oh, here we go again, like another miss. And it almost like caused me to get hit by the glass because I didn't. My realization was a little slow that the glass had broken. I was like, dang, I just missed a dunk, and I was about to turn around and run into the glass. And I barely seen it, and like in the video, it just shows me like running backwards really quickly. But like it didn't process yet. Like I was still mad that I missed it, and my teammates came up to me and like, "Well, you just broke the backboard. Like, grab a piece of the glass, take a picture." I was like, "Yeah, that is kind of rare." And then it just slowly after the game, like after I put the bad game like behind me, I was like, "Oh wow, I did break the backboard." But there was a lot of hate like with me missing it afterwards, but that's part of going viral, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, did you enjoy going viral, or do you think it was a little bit annoying towards the end?
It like in the beginning it was fun, but then like getting the comments, it was just kind of stressful. It was like you can't even enjoy it. You just gotta turn Instagram off. I had to get off Instagram and just go on my other social media platforms.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a testament, social media, especially if you're, you're playing for a D1 school or you're getting featured on Ball's Life. A lot of the comments are going to be negative. They're going to be joking, and it's just it's testament to really how crazy social media can be. Honestly. But yeah, thanks for showing us about that. I was really curious about what your take on that was. So next question: since you were playing under Coach Boyle last year, how has your role changed since you left Arizona Compass? Because you went from more of like a on-ball scorer, who's making a lot of pull-ups, hitting shots off the dribble at Arizona, and with Boulder now you're more used in pick and roll situations, off pops. So how would you describe your role changing since coming to Boulder?
It changed a little bit. Like when I was with Compass, there's like a lot of great players there too, like a lot of high ranked players. So I learned early how to play with those guys um and like top point guards and just learning how to move with them and read off them. Like I've always played like a star player on my team and somebody that was featured. So I learned how to cut and I learned how to rebound and get open shots. So I did a little bit of that with Compass towards the end of the year. You see me like doing pull ups and being more ball dominant as I got more comfortable. But coming into college, like I just went back to how I was in the beginning, like getting offensive rebounds, being an energy guy, just being impactful when I get in the game. So just like relying on my impact and rebounding, that translates to both levels.
Totally. Yeah, really appreciate it. And off to you, Rich.
Hey Jabari, your father Samaki is former NBA champion with the 2002 Lakers, and yes, I am old enough to remember him as both a college and pro player. What kind of impact did your dad have on your development, and what's the biggest difference between the two of you?
Uh, uh, Huge impact. I grew, I lived with him like high school, throughout high school, um, and I trained with him like every day. He pushed me to the max. But like I would say, the biggest impact he had was like on my mentality, He just taught me a lot about the game. We would sit and watch film, and he would just give me these different perspectives. And a lot of my friends, like I would hear them talking, and they were just kind of clueless on the game, and they didn't understand what I understood about the game. So I think just being around him helped me learn more about that. Like he had already been through the process, and he knew what I was going through, so he was just able to relate. I'm just glad I had that information.
And would you say the biggest difference between the two of you is basically your dad really didn't do much scoring outside the paint, and you obviously do score, inside and out.
Yeah, I would say that's the biggest difference. He definitely has that. Like I've seen him as he got older. Just like it seems like his game is still evolved even with age. So he definitely has that ability, but I think that just wasn't required for him at the time. I wasn't the
Right.
role big man, and he realized that as the game was changing, he realized he had to give me some ball handling skills, improve my footwork, and improve my shot because the game was changing. So I really appreciate that, and um, yeah, I think we still have like similarities, like our timing. That's just a natural gift. Like our shot blocking, he had that, and that's something I have. And just our touch. He has a great touch. His floater's nice. He could shoot it. It just wasn't required for him. So I definitely get some of that from him.
Okay. So moving on to this season, you guys had a really good recruiting class, and you got six players who got significant minutes, saw significant action, including yourself. So, what's a reasonable projection for the Buffaloes this season, and what kind of role do you expect to have, especially with Dallas? What's Dallas's your center last year? Dallas. What was his
Yeah,
last?
that was
Dallas Walton. Dallas Walton's moved on to Wake Forest. So with him gone, what kind of role do you expect to have?
like a bigger role definitely, but just more like a leadership role. I think if I approach it in that aspect, then everything else will fall. Like I'm not a guy that's just looking to control the ball or whatever. I still want to do the things that made me great last year, like my shot, my rebounding. I just want to be more impactful in a win. Um, I want to get in better shape so that I can help my team more because more minutes will be required. I want to help the younger guys as I've been doing. I know how it is being a freshman, and it was just like that last year. So just want to help them just make my teammates better. So that's what I want to accomplish this year, and I think we could be a really great team. I don't know where we'll end up at the end of the year, but I just know we'll be great.
Would you say that uh, that the freshmen are going to have to play a fairly key role, at least a couple of them?
Uh-huh, definitely. With a lot of our seniors leaving, but there's definitely going to be some like a lot expected of them, and they know that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pass it back to Clayton. Thank you.
Yeah, so as you mentioned with your shot, you scored on a really high percentage, 52.3% on 1.7 attempts per game. So not a large volume, but at the same time, you were knocking them down. And so what I would like to know is, have you been working on any specific shooting skills in the off season, maybe off movement off the catch, off the dribble, more consistency against contests? Take me through that. Is there anything in particular you've been working on?
Definitely the shot speed. I understand this year that they're going to be keying in on me, and with McKinley gone, I'm gonna have less time to shoot the ball. He was the focus last year, and he would attract so many people that when I got the ball, I had so much time to shoot it. So this year they probably label me as a shooter, and they know I can shoot the ball really well. So I'm gonna have to get the ball off quicker, and just working on my pump fakes and just adding layers to my game, driving, kicking, just becoming a more all around player.
So would you say you're working? This ties into the next question a little bit too. But would you say you're working on more of like self creation, like offhand work, high ball, low ball dribbling, stuff like that to really create for yourself?
Yes, definitely working on all aspects. Coaches emphasize like creating. I need to be more of a creator. Last year, I just really focused on just getting my shots up and just getting adjusted to the game, just myself. Now the game is starting to slow down for me, so I can get more people involved and I understand the offense, so I understand what could come out of the play and just how to read the play a little bit more. So with the game slowing down and me understanding the offense more, I think it's only right for me to become more of a playmaker.
So a lot of the time too last year you were used in pick and roll situations or pick and pop situations. Has the coaching staff talked with you about using you more as like a short roll playmaker? Because you know maybe catch around the free throw line and either pump fake and drive, or you can even kick it out to the corner. Has that been something they've been talking to you about specifically with the short roll?
Yeah, that sounds familiar actually. If the pick and pop, I get my shot, and if the they switch, there's a mismatch. So that's why we like to do the pick and pop. But with the short roll, it gives me a chance to do that little floater, gives me a chance to duck down to the big. So they always talk about that. And that's always an option for me.
Definitely. All right, yeah, off to you, Rich.
All righty. So, Jabari, besides the many pregame talks you'll have with Bill Walton, what are you looking forward to the most this season? And I'm saying, like, I'm sure you sat down and thought, wow, man, I'm going to be more, I'm going to have a much bigger role this season. So I'm sure you've kind of like daydreamt about, certain things. And so what is it? What kind of dreams do you have for this season? And what are you looking forward the most?
I want to be part of a winning team, and I want to be like a big part of it. So it's different when you contribute and you like you're a lead, you play a leadership role. It gives you different type of confidence, and it's like a big accomplishment. And I've always wanted to do that, be a main piece in a winning team. So I'm excited to do that this year, and uh, I love my teammates, and they're just like my brothers. So I'm just glad that is with this group, but overall just win and yeah, just bond with my guys and just create some lifelong relationships.
Okay. And on that note of your teammates, I'm sure everyone's projecting you to have a big season. Um, but of all your teammates, including the freshmen, who do you think's gonna have a breakout season this year beside yourself?
That's a tough question. If you've seen the practices, you will understand why it's a tough question because every day it just seems like these freshmen are just getting better. Like that's like it's like hitting the lottery just answering that question. But uh, I'm with Lawson, and he doesn't even seem like a freshman. Like he seems like he plays like a sophomore, junior. Like his body's already developed. He's getting stronger, but just as far as his mental, he knows how to move. For a 7 footer, he has great touch. Um, but I work with him down there with the big, so I see a lot of his progression,
Right.
and I also see the guards. Like our guards just get better every day, and I don't know. It's crazy. I can't answer that, but
Well, that's good though. I mean, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah,
But you should have plenty of help then.
yeah, definitely.
All right, Clayton.
Yeah, so of course, one of your teammates that we talked about a little before, McKinley Wright, he's three-time All Pac-12 selection, and of course, Pac-12 All Defense selection, going to the NBA. So, what in particular about his leadership has helped you through this, unique freshman year during COVID? I mean, that's about as challenging a year for anyone, especially going to D1.
Can you repeat the last part of that question?
Yeah. So, how did McKinley Wright's leadership help you progress as a freshman, specifically, during a year like COVID?
Uh huh. Yeah. Uh, so many ways. I'd say the biggest way is just I don't know, just his leadership. Honestly, it's like he always let me know that I needed to be a big part of the team. And before the season even started, like he saw something in me, and he knew like I would be great. So he would tell me, he's like, "We're gonna need you this year. Like you're gonna need to play minutes." And just like hearing that from a guy like him, it motivated me. It let me know I need to work even harder because a guy like him trusted me, and it was my first year. Like, how did he know I was supposed to be good? But just him instilling that confidence in me really made me push myself even more because knowing that he trusted me made me feel more confident, and I wanted to put on for him, and I wanted to make his last year a great one. So when you have a leader like that that's just so selfless, then it makes everything easier. He never complained. He always just lifted you up. That's the type of leader I want to be. I had great examples of that last year with Drya and Ed and Dallas and Deshaun, Maddox, all my seniors. Will last year, they I just had a great group of seniors. I'm just blessed to have those people.
So having that like that culture, of older, steady guys, is there anything that you were able to take from them that you can bring out to all these new freshmen that are coming in?
Yes, like their emotion. When we went down, like they never got too low on themselves. Like when we went up, they never got too high. So it's just like being stable, just a balance. I think that's important. Like with young guys, it's like if you get down, emotions might get the best of you. And also with the older guys, like they knew their role. Like the younger guys, we don't really know our roles yet. It's gonna be adjustment, but they have played together so many years that they kind of knew each other's roles, and they knew each other's game. So I think that's something that we have to figure out with us being younger.
Definitely. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Hey, Jabari, staying with McKinley, he was one of my favorite players last year, and I followed him all, from his freshman season all the way to last year. Um, so I have a two-part question about him. First of all, how intimidating, for as productive of a player as he was, for a team-oriented player, for a player who played with effort and toughness, how intimidating is it to know that he went undrafted? And also, since he's been in the league, he's now has a two-way contract, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Has he given you any feedback, since the draft and moving forward of things that maybe you should that have like clicked for him and say, hey, make sure you do this season?
Uh-huh. Yeah, he told me like we needed to sit down and talk. So I figured that's what that conversation would be about, just what he expects from me this year, and just giving me some inside information. But as far as him being undrafted, like I, I'm not surprised, but usually guards like that, they don't know like their production, and they're scared to take guys like that. And McKinley just got put in that box, but I feel like they don't really know. Like they don't know McKinley. He's different than those 6 foot guards.
Right.
He's not I've seen like, and if I was a manager, then I'll probably be thinking the same thing. But me being his teammate, it's like he'll prove everybody wrong, and Ken knows that he's been slept on all his life, just like he said. So it's just gonna be another proven moment for him, and it's gonna be more fuel to the fire. So, but yeah, I'm not surprised that they did that to him. But just being his teammate, it's like dang, like he deserved to be drafted
Right.
for sure.
Agreed. I'm going to pass it back to Clayton.
Yeah, so against Georgetown, you had your career high in made threes at 5. And just quick question, really, I just want to know, like, was there anything in particular you changed up that day? Or was it just, right time, right place?
Uh, um, yeah, I think I was just feeling it. Like my energy was higher. I always have energy before the games, but just that was my first being around like fans like that. Like when they announced that there'll be fans at Georgetown, then like it just gave me this different type of energy. Usually the gyms were empty, so it's like dang, I wish I could put on in front of people. I wish I could feel that energy. So when I walked out in warm-ups and I see my mom and family out there, then I was like, okay, this is the real deal. This is really March Madness. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Like the energy, the gym, after I hit the first one, I was like, oh, I want to feel that again. I want to hit another one. So I was just finding ways to get open, and just focusing and knocking down my shots. I was cutting, getting dunks. I think the energy, like just the fans really. So that's why I'm excited to have fans this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome that you're able to feed off of all those people. You know, a lot of people, you know, they see the big crowds and they get intimidated by it. But it definitely seems like, you know, you definitely feed off of that energy from the collective fans.
Yes.
And then, yeah, so next question I had, so you had a defensive foul percentage of 14.9%, which is pretty high. I think it was in the bottom 130 out of like 50, out of 1,300 guys with 50 possessions. So, and you clearly have all of the skills, like the ability to be a really good defensive player. But, you know, your foul rate was a little bit high. So has the Buffalo coaching staff been working on anything, maybe with like body control or just being more disciplined on pump fakes, anything like that?
They talk about being more in shape, which I agree with. Like, if I'm more in shape, then I slide my feet better and I don't play as much with my hands. So I think that's the biggest thing. And then being smart, like when playing the post, because I will play against bigger guys and I will have to defend them. So moving my feet instead of playing with my hands and being so physical, like as far as like in the wrong ways, like you have to know how to work with the physicality. It's more about leg power. It's not about like upper body and pushing and stuff like that. So I'm starting to realize like that it's more mental to play defense in the post than it is physical. So I think also the experience will help, and with the game slowing down, that also helps with foul trouble. So I should be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's interesting that like you've made a transition from, you know, being hand and upper body dependent to lower body dependent. That's pretty fascinating, honestly. I guess it's just like being able to be shifty more, you know, quick on your feet, being able to adapt to whatever the situations are. But yeah, next question will go to Rich, and yeah.
All right, Jabari. Last week I did a survey of, including our own website, of mock drafts and NBA big boards, and 8 sites in total. And 7 of the 8 sites had you ranked between 20th and 68th in the draft class. Did you realize that you're garnering that? I mean, basically, the consensus is that you're going to be a mid to late first round pick right now. Did you realize that you're garnering that type of respect?
Actually, no. And so somebody on my team actually sent it to me one day, and I looked at it. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I just looked at another one. I was like, oh wow. But I think that happened from the Team USA camp. I gained a lot of exposure there. There was scouts there, so that was a great experience, and that was a blessing. I've been under the radar a lot, and with NBA scouts being in the building, and they haven't seen me as much as last year because with COVID they weren't and stuff like that. So they were actually in person, and I think after that really like kind of showed the scouts like, okay, like he should be more on the radar, and he should be given a little more respect. So I thank God for that opportunity and being able to show in front of them. So I think that really helped. But um, honestly, at the beginning of at the end of the season, I was on the bus and I was like, let me check mock draft real quick. And this is after Georgetown, and I saw my name nowhere, and I got a little frustrated. I was like, am I ever going to get always be this way? And I forgot who I talked to. They're like, don't worry about that. Don't that's not even the mock draft is never truly accurate. So again, I just remember that conversation. I don't focus on that. That changes. If you look at the mock drafts at the beginning of the year, those people like sometimes they don't even get drafted. So I don't focus on that. But yeah, I honestly think I'm a lottery pick if I stay in shape and I continue to get stronger. There's a lot that people haven't seen.
Okay. for the record, you were on our draft board pretty much all of last year, but we go 200 deep, and so we didn't have you in the mock draft because we didn't think you were coming out. But you were on our draft board. We had you there. So you mentioned NBA scouts. What type of feedback have you gotten any feedback from NBA people? You know, off the record, obviously would have to be, but anything that maybe you could share with us?
No, I don't talk to them. If they do talk to people, they talk to my coaches and they talk to my family, and they'll relay messages like, "Oh, you need to work on this. You need to get stronger here, improve this." But yeah, definitely no direct contact with them. They'll talk to my people. And
Well, I didn't necessarily mean. I mean, your father, played the NBA for years, so I figured he knows a lot of people. So it wouldn't necessarily have to be people that active in the league, but like people that your father knows. I mean, I'm sure you know plenty of people in the league. Has anybody given you any type of feedback?
yeah, I definitely get like feedback as far as how it is in the league,
Uh,
how it's
just advice, just
yeah.
advice.
One thing that I keep in mind is that it's harder to stay in the league than to get there. So and my dad preaches that a lot. So when I work now, I don't think that the end goal is to make the league. I think that it's to stay in the league and to be productive and successful in the league. So I think the biggest thing for me this year is training like a professional, getting ready, whether that's this year or whenever. Um, yeah, just approaching it like a pro, and that's how I communicate with my teammates. That's how I wake up and attack practices. That's just how I lift in the weight room, and that's my motto for this year.
Okay. And so are you mentally prepared for this year? It sounds like you're already thinking, like when you said you're going to have to shoot quicker. I mean, you're gonna see I don't mean this to be intimidating myself, but you're going to see a lot more attention on and off the court. Have you given a lot of thought to that, and are you mentally preparing yourself for that?
Uh huh. I'm
Okay.
excited.
All
That's
right. So go ahead.
what I want. And I'm working for that.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that. Clayton.
Yeah, so final question from my end at least. So I did a little bit of reading and found out you play saxophone. And I want to ask two questions. First, is this your only instrument you play? And then also second, down the road, 5, 10 years down the line, you solidified yourself in whatever career path. Would you ever consider starting a jazz band?
What was the first question?
So are there any other instruments you play outside of saxophone?
Um, play saxophone. I used to play a little bit of guitar. See, the thing with me is I started these instruments and I would just start to get the hang of it. I would switch. I never the the problem was I didn't learn how to read music completely, and that's why I stopped playing saxophone. But I played a little bit of the guitar. I played. That's pretty much it. Yeah, saxophone. I played baritone saxophone. Uh, and I played in the jazz band in high school, but I never completely learned how to read music. So it wasn't as fun for me because I just started making up notes and yeah, I wasn't able to participate fully like I wanted to. So I was like, okay, if I can't play it completely, I'm not gonna play. Like I'm gonna just learn later down the road how to read music again, and I'll figure it out. But I think my new hobby is ping pong. I'm not a musician anymore, but ping pong, I'm gonna play professional ping pong after my basketball career.
Okay, all right. So that answers my other question because I had one that I was gonna ask, but we have some time constraints. But let's put it this way: if you were to play bowling or ping pong for the rest of your life, would you choose ping pong still, or is that a tough decision?
What's the first one?
Bowling or ping pong?
You said bowling or ping pong?
Yeah,
And you can
bowling or
only
ping
play
pong.
one.
Yeah, if you can only play one for the rest of your life, what would you do?
Ping pong.
Just easy
I'm
like that.
really good at ping pong. That's a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people do not know that.
Are you telling me we're going to have to start a website called pingpongprospects.com?
That's that. And I'm gonna need some I'm gonna need some ping pong sponsors that give me a real ping pong paddle, customized, a ball that says my name on it. I'll just kidding.
Yeah, get yourself a Burberry ping pong. Oh man! All right, well, excuse me. So me, question-wise, Rich, did you have anything to add?
No. I just want to thank Jabari. It was a pleasure, and we wish you the best next season. Like, obviously, we'll be watching, and maybe you'll even come back and visit us
Yeah,
at the end of the season.
for sure. Appreciate you guys. Huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, hey, we're pretty high on you, man. I mean, at least in my book right now, I have you in the first round, without doubt. You know, and Rich, I don't know exactly where you have him right now, Rich.
23rd overall.
Yeah, 23rd overall. So, you know, we're pretty high on you and just your development as well. But, you know, the league's moving towards that, you know, 6'8" guys who can handle, shoot, and play defense in a variety of ways. So, you know, you definitely fit that mold that a lot of teams are looking for right now. It's just a matter of getting some of those skills ironed out just a little bit more. And, you know, future's as high as you want it to be, really.
Appreciate you guys. Really.